I want all them coins. No compromise, no split, no nothing. They all come to me now.
So the cast and crew have been teasing Raising Kanan Season 2 is super unexpected, where we're gonna learn something new about every single one of our main characters. And there was some information about one particular character that was revealed in one of the Crew Has It podcasts, which could be considered a little spoilery. So for those who really want to know, there is a chapter at the end of this video where I will break this down, but for those who don't, we'll have a chance to switch off. So with that being said, let's talk about Raquel's Threats from the trailer and from recent news. Because if you want to sit on the throne in this game, in power, you're gonna have to kill, manipulate, and be 3 moves ahead, but you're also gonna create a lot of enemies while doing so. Because as the 48 laws of power teaches us, sometimes power depends on appearance. You have to learn the tricks that will enhance your image by refusing to commit and bow down, or in Raquel's words, kneel to no man.
Once you're on your knees, it's damn near impossible to get back on your feet. I ain't getting on my knees, Nick. Not for you or no man.
So by refusing, you instantly seem powerful because it means you can't be controlled, and then this aura of power grows over time, just like we saw in the case of Raquel Thomas in Season 1. But this is when you have the greatest number of enemies, because everybody is after that throne, especially a woman in a man's world who have to take what's theirs. And these enemies will look to bring Raquel and her empire down. You've got Detective Howard and the Huge Secret, someone who I thought possibly may be Rondell Defcon Stark, but is actually Vernon Stark, who I'll go through in just a moment. There's also Unique, who I do think could be released from prison at some point. There's also Sal Baselli, the new Italian mafia mob boss. And with this comes Lulu, because he doesn't agree with Raquel's ways of doing shit. And last but not least, Kanan Stark, who I think is Raquel's biggest threat, because he's also her biggest weakness. But the one we're going to focus on today is Deen Tippett, along with Unique, because there was a post on Instagram reposted by the cast, which actually does reveal all of the returning and new characters for Season 2. And Deen looks like he's one of the returning characters. So let's remind ourselves of who Deen is.
Deen Tippett. Deen had that Tijuana connect. Had business all over the country. Deen kept his head down. Because the real kingpins, the ones making that long money, they ain't making noise. They just silent and violent.
So just after we met Deen, and just after the midway point of the season, Unique was in a huge position of power when it came to this ongoing battle between him and Raquel. Because one of the most important things to realize about people in this game is they all have a weakness, and this psychological element they can't resist. And Unique made a point about how Kanan was Raquel's weakness, which she exploited when he used Davina to get the information on her stash house. So when he hit Raquel's organization, he starved Rack soldiers for product on the streets, which meant their corners were high and dry, which in turn allowed Unique's crew to step in and take their business, and Raquel had to react, otherwise they were going to lose their regulars. But this also caused a lot of chaos with law enforcement, and this is one thing Deen hates, who ironically was the connect for both of them. But not only did Unique fuck with her organization, he also damaged one of Raquel's most trusted soldiers in Scrappy. But having said that, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger, and Scrappy definitely came back, and he's also going to have a bigger role to play for Rack's organization in Season 2. But the implications of this in Season 1 was, it put Raquel in a weak position in terms of her entire organization, because not only did she have to come up with a new plan, but she was also dropped as a distro for Deen. But Raquel Thomas isn't the kind of woman who waits for an opportunity, she knocks that fucking door down, and this is in essence what she did with Joaquin when she promised to change the game. And the way she was changing the game was by eliminating her main threats, which at the time were Howard in law enforcement and Unique in the streets. But the problem is, Unique had control of the game and the streets by hitting Raquel's stash and agreeing to pay 20% premium for Deen's product, and all of a sudden he found himself behind bars after Raquel's master plan. But what this also does is impact Deen, because he's no longer the connect that's supplying queens, Joaquin is. And I really don't think Deen Tippett is going to be too happy about Raquel fucking with his business, because this isn't the first time she's done so. Let's not forget, she also gave up the location to Unique's re-up from the information she got from Smurf, and this was the second reason why Deen dropped her business with Rock, because he could no longer trust her.
I need partners I can trust, Raquel. I don't trust you.
Nobody trusts nobody in all this.
but there are orders of magnitude of said distrust.
But even though nobody trusts anyone in this game, there still has to be a chain of command and a clear way of doing things, or everything breaks down, and Raquel's way of doing business didn't sit well with Deen. So I'm sure it can be safe to say Deen will definitely be back, because now he's gonna have a boatload of product just sat there with no distro in Queens. And let's rewind it back to Power, because we saw something similar when Tommy and Dre hit the Seb's product, which was supplied by Milan. Of course, as a Connect, he wasn't happy that 1, his product was hit, and 2, he lost a distro. So we saw Milan making Ghost basically his slave, and Deen's in a similar position. He's lost his product, he's also lost his distro, and he's lost the territory which Unique occupied to Raquel, who has her own Connect. So where we had Deen's violent side with getting rid of Smurf, hopefully we witness this in season 2. Now, something else which won't help Raquel's cause is Unique, because I'm sure at some point we'll see him being released from jail, because who else could Raquel be pointing a gun towards in Unique's place? So Unique will definitely cause Rock another issue on top of Deen, and who knows whether we could see Deen and Unique come up with a plan to take back Queens, although Deen does like to stay quiet behind the scenes, because he's about the long money, so he may leave this up to Unique, or he may well decide to step in, who knows. But either way, Unique vs Raquel isn't over, and Deen Tippett's role can't be overlooked. Now, someone who I thought could possibly be Rondell, Defcon Stark, was the person on the other end of the phone with Kanan in this scene, because he wasn't exactly confirmed dead in season 1. But an Instagram post actually reveals this is Vernon Stark, not Defcon Stark, so this could possibly be a brother or another family member. But in the trailer, even though we hear him giving Kanan some words of motivation, is this a new threat to Raquel? I definitely think so, because let's look at it this way. Did Raquel give permission for Kanan to go and visit Vernon Stark, or is he searching for the truth behind who his real father is? Because based on this scene where Howard meets Kanan, I think he could very well drop the bombshell, which may push Kanan into looking for the truth, just like the synopsis teases. And Vernon Stark is also someone who could possibly know the truth about Defcon not being Kanan's father, and that's why he's a threat to Raquel Thomas. So Vernon Stark is one to watch, no matter how big or small his part may be in Raising Kanan Season 2. So rewinding it back to the beginning of this video, I mentioned there was some info teased on the Crew Has It podcast, and it was in the interview with Patina Miller, and they were talking about how Raquel films Raising Kanan in the day and also does Broadway at night, but how she's about to return for filming Raising Kanan once again, meaning season 3. So even though we say nobody is safe in the world of Power, it is safe to say Raquel's story will continue beyond season 2 at least, which I'm sure we all expected, because she really is one of the show's biggest stars. And there's also the mystery of whether she's alive in the timeline of Power, but that's a breakdown of the latest threats that could be coming Raquel's way in season 2, in the form of Deen, Unique, and possibly Vernon Stark. So drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section on those 3 characters and their impact on Raquel Thomas. And of course, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.